Good morning and welcome to class today. Today we are going to be moving through the Soma sequence, which is a sequence of two short flows, Surya Namaskara A and B, salutes to the sun, a series of standing poses, a series of sitting poses, a series of forward folds, some twists, and some pranayama, Ujjayi pranayama practice. So come to a seated, let's get started. We'll come to a seated position on our mat and find a comfortable position for you, whatever that may be. Cross your legs in Sukhasana. And put your hands on your thighs and take a deep breath in, settle in, and a deep breath out. And one more time, a big breath in, expand the rib cage through your nose, and a breath out. And we're going to do 3 rounds of some counted. Breath in through your nose, tighten your vocal cords. 1, 2, 3, and pause. And exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. One more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. And go back to your normal breathing. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra in front of your chest. And we are going to do 3 rounds of Om together. So inhale. Yogena Shatasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Shafai Jakena Yopa Karatam Pravaram Muninam Abahu Purusha Karam Shankachaka Siddharinam Sahasra Shirsam Shwetham Pranamani Patanjalim Hari Om. Lower your chin to your chest. Put your hands on the back of your hands on your thighs. And slowly open your eyes. Look up. For today's class, you will need some props. So I recommend getting a blanket for Shavasana, 2 blocks, and a strap. We're going to start with 3 rounds each of Surya Namaskara A and B, 2 sun salutes. So come to the top of your mat and root your feet down into the ground, stand tall, shoulder blades down your back. Inhale and exhale. Then inhale, reach up, look up, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Lift your spine up halfway, stretch your spine. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull your chest through, curl back, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Push your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Push into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, and step or jump in between your hands. Inhale, lift your spine, extend your spine. Ardha Uttanasana, lower, fold over your legs. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand up, look up, reach up. Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. Inhale, reach up, look up, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, curl through, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, push your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And take 3 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Externally rotate your upper arms. And exhale. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and step or jump in between your hands. Inhale, lift up halfway, extend your spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand up, reach up, look up, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. We're now going to do 3 rounds of Surya Namaskara V. Stand in Tadasana. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back. Reach your arms up alongside of you, look up. Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over your legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen your spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Step back. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, right foot in between your hands. Inhale, Warrior One. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Left foot in between your hands. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower your hands, step back, lower down. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And take 3 breaths. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. And on your 3rd exhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, and step to the in between your hands. Bend your knees, sit back, raise your hands up, look up, Utkatasana. Inhale, stand up, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hands to your side. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back, reach up, look up, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over your legs, straighten your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, right foot. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, lower down. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And take 3 breaths here. 1, inhale, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. And inhale, bend your knees, lift your heels, step or jump in between your hands. Bend your knees, sit back, arms up, look up, Utkatasana. Inhale, stand up, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. Inhale, bend your knees, sit back, arms up alongside your ears, look up, Utkatasana. Exhale, lower, Uttanasana, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen your spine up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot, inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left hand, inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And take 3 breaths here. Inhale 1, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale, raise your heels, bend your knees, step or jump in between your feet. Bend your knees, sit back, arms up alongside of your head. Look up, Utkatasana. Inhale, stand up, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, hands to your side, Tadasana. So now we're going to move into a standing sequence of poses. Our first standing pose is Tadasana, or mountain pose. So stand with your feet together, with the inner edges of your feet together. Press down through your heels, press down through all 4 corners of your feet. Lift your toes. And again, press down through the balls of your feet. Press down through your heels, rock a little, forward, backwards, side to side, and find a place where you feel even distribution of weight on your feet. Keep your toes up and stretched. Now slowly lower them back down to the mat. So pull up through your kneecaps to engage your quadriceps. Isometrically pull your feet apart to engage your outer thighs. Pull your inner thighs together. Lift up through your heels, up to engage your hamstrings. Lift your heels, kind of pretend to lift them up to your sit bones, engage your hamstrings. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, narrow your rib cages in. You want the bottoms of your rib cages to touch each other. And keep that engagement, keep the engagement in your legs. Broaden across your shoulders. Lift your sternum and lengthen through the back of your neck. Right? Your chin parallel to the floor and gaze forward. Charge your fingertips down towards the floor. Broaden through your shoulders. Lift through your sternum. Keep the engagement in your legs. Press firmly down into the ground and rebound that energy back through the arches of your foot, all the way up through your quadriceps, all the way up through your sternum, lift, all the way up through the crown of your head. Strong and tall. And take a deep breath here. And deep breath out. And one more time, breathe in. And breathe out. Okay. Our next standing pose is Vrikshasana, or tree pose. And keep all that engagement from Tadasana strong on your left leg. Externally rotate your right leg out to the side. Lift your foot and grab your ankle with your right hand and place the sole of your foot on the inside of your left thigh. Press in on your outer left hip. Keep that Tadasana left leg strong and firm. Press your inner left thigh into the sole of your right foot and find your balance. Your hands in Anjali Mudra. If you've got your balance here, let's keep going. Extend your arms out to the side. Pull left and right. And from here, have your balance. Lift your arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Your palms towards each other. And if you can, bring your hands into Urdhva Namaskarasana hands. And breathe. Push down into the floor. Pull up through your fingertips. Lengthen through your torso. And breathe. And lower your hands in front of your chest. And lower your foot. Shake your legs out a little bit. Tadasana leg on your right. Firm. Engage your quads. Engage your hamstrings. Corset in your ribs. Externally rotate your left leg. Lift your left foot. Place your sole of your left foot on your inner right thigh. Press into the outer right hip. Press firmly into the ground. Hands in Anjali Mudra. And let's keep going. Hands out to the side. Extend. Flip your palms up. Arms up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together. Urdhva Namaskarasana. And energy through your feet into the ground, your roots. Up through your fingertips, your branches. And lower your hands. And lower your foot. And hands to your side, Tadasana. Our next pose is Trikonasana, Uttika Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. And you may want to use your blocks for this, so let's put them at the back of your mat along the long side, right here. And you're going to stand with your feet together, stand in Tadasana, fingertips together, bend your knees, jump or step your legs apart. And just for measurement, see that your ankles are underneath your wrists for this pose. So press firmly into the ground with your legs, extend your arms out to the side. Now, turn your left foot in slightly. So your pinky toe is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees and put a heel to arch alignment here. Arms out to the side. Now, notice if your hip is tipping a little bit, bring your right, push in from your left to bring your right hip up so your pelvis is level. Arms out to the side, and you're going to bend to the right. Bend, 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 bend. Put your hand on your shin. Pull up and notice the engagement in your left side when you pull up. Okay. Your left arm is up towards the sky, and you can bend a little more. You can bring your hand to the block outside of your foot, or you might even be able to bring it to the floor. So from here, pull your waist back, wrap your left hip under, turn your right ribs towards your left, and look up. And breathe. Press firmly into the ground with your feet. Press your feet towards each other. Lift your chest. And breathe in and lift up. And come back up. Parallel your feet. Second side. Turn your right foot in slightly. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees. Heel arch alignment. Arms out to the side. Level your pelvis. And now bend to the side. Bend to your left. Hand to your shin, your ankle. Pull up. Engage your right side. And perhaps you can get your hand to the floor or use your block. Pull your right hip under you. Press your tailbone back. Rotate your left hip, your left ribs towards your right. And look up. And breathe. And pull yourself up as if someone is taking your right hand and lifting you up. And then unbend, parallel your feet, jump or step together, Tadasana. Our next standing pose is Parsva Konasana, extended wide angle pose. Start in Tadasana. Oh, excuse me, extended side angle pose. Stand in Tadasana. Bend. And jump out. Bend your knees, jump out. Again, measure. Turn your left foot in slightly, your right foot out 90 degrees, and heel arch alignment. Arms out to the side. Press firmly into your inner and outer edges of your back leg. Engage your quads. Firm left leg. Firm right leg. Keep that engagement. Knit your rib cages in. So your ribs aren't flaring out. Chest up, sternum up. And inhale, exhale, bend your right knee over your right foot. Now, bend to the side. Stage one, you can rest your elbow on your right thigh. Your left hand goes up and arm go up towards the sky. Stage two, put your hand to the outside of your right foot on a block. Stage three, your hand close to the floor. Spin your hand, your pinky, towards your skull and lower so that your arm, so that your bicep is next to your ear. Turn your navel up, look up under your arm, and breathe. And press down into your feet. Bring your arm, your left arm down, lift up. Straighten your right leg, parallel your feet. Second side, right foot in comes slightly, Left foot out 90 degrees. And arms out to the side. Level your hips. Inhale, exhale, bend your left knee. Over your ankle, bend to the left. Stage 1, elbow to your knee. Stage 2, hand to the block outside of your left foot. Right arm is up. Stage 3, your hand comes to the floor. And turn your navel up towards the sky. Turn your hand so your pinky finger is towards your skull and stretch your right arm next to your right ear and energy charge out from your fingers and down into your right foot. And breathe. And come up, straighten your left leg, and bend your knees, and jump or step your feet together, back into Tadasana. Our next standing pose is Virabhadrasana 1. This pose is named after a warrior. It's called warrior pose, and the warrior it's named after is Virabhadra. So, warrior 1. And you probably don't need your blocks for this, so let's move them out of the way. Okay, Virabhadrasana 1. Fingertips in front of you, bend your knees, step or jump your feet apart, and spin your palms up towards the ceiling, and lift your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Okay. Turn all 10 of your toes to the right. And you may want to turn your left foot in just a little more. So lift your heel, turn it out, put it back down. Okay. Now, press into your left foot and try and twist your pelvis a little more towards the short edge of your mat. Scissor your legs together. Lift up through your spine, press through your back heel, press through your front foot, lift up. Exhale, bend your left knee over your right ankle. Push your tailbone towards the floor. Lift your arms up over your head, lengthen through your torso. Pull your navel in towards your spine. And press into your back foot. Turn your hips. Pull your right hip back. And breathe. And straighten your left leg. Parallel your feet. Second side. Arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Turn all 10 toes towards the left of your mat. Turn your right foot in a little more. And pull your left hip back. Moving your pelvis a little more towards the short end of the left side of your mat. Push down into the ground with the heel and foot on your right. Press in to the ground. Engage your legs with your left. Inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee over your left ankle. And again, pull your left hip back. Push down towards the floor with your tailbone. Lift up through your fingertips. Feel that lengthening through your torso. Look forward. and breathe. Straighten your left leg, turn your feet to parallel, lower your arms to the center of your chest, fingertips together, step or jump your feet together. Our next pose is Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2, again named after Virabhadra. So, from Tadasana. Fingertips in front of you, bend your knees, step or jump your feet apart. Turn your left foot in slightly, your right foot out 90 degrees, heel to arch alignment. And from here, again, you want a level so that your pelvis is level. Firmly press into the ground, pull up through your kneecaps, pull up through your hamstrings, push down into the floor. All right. Arms out to the side. All right. From here, you're going to bend your left knee over your left ankle. Stretch your arms apart. And kind of corkscrew your right foot clockwise into the floor to widen your left knee a little bit. Arms out to the side. Press into your left heel and look over your right fingertips. Engage your pelvic floor. Pull up. Pull your navel towards your spine. Lift up through your sternum and breathe. Straighten your right leg. Parallel your feet. Second side. Turn your right foot in slightly. Your left foot out 90 degrees. Level your pelvis. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your left knee over your right ankle. Stretch your arms out to the side. Corkscrew your foot, your left foot, into the ground counterclockwise and widen your knee over your toes. Arms out to the side. Engage your pelvic floor. Pubic bone to tailbone engagement. Push them towards each other. Sit bones towards each other. Lift up. Rib cages in, navel in. Sternum up and up, arms out. And then turn your head and gaze over your left fingertips and breathe. Straighten your left leg, parallel your feet, and step or jump your feet together. Our next standing pose is Pasvottanasana, intense stretch to one side. We're going to start this pose with Namaskara hands, which is prayer position on your back. So if you're able to, get your pinky side of your hands together in prayer position on your back and keep it for the duration of the pose comfortably. Then do so. If not, you can grab your wrists or you can grab your elbows. You can even put your knuckles together this way. I'm going to grab my ankle or my elbows for this one. No. All right. So Pasvottanasana. Okay. So you're going to step your feet apart, not as wide as we did for the Virabhadrasana poses, and you're going to turn all 10 toes again to the right. Now this time, you're going to turn your left toes in even a little more than you did for Virabhadrasana 1. So lift your heel and turn your foot a little more. You might find that all your toes are facing the short edge of your mat. Okay, so, and your pelvis is also facing the short edge of your mat. So press into your feet, all four corners of your feet, right? Narrow your rib cages in, belly towards your spine, lift up your sternum, and scissor your legs together. Push the inner thighs together to give you some stability here. So tilt your pelvis forward and keep your spine lengthened. And keep tilting forward, lengthen your spine. Tilt forward, lengthen your spine, and you'll hit a spot where you really cannot tilt your pelvis anymore. And you are just going to just drape over your right leg and breathe. And lift and extend your spine. Inhale. Exhale, drape. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, extend. And exhale, drape. And breathe. Inhale, extend your spine. Lift up. And parallel your feet. Do the second side. All right, all 10 toes towards the left side of your mat. Lift your right heel. Turn your right foot in a little more. Press into your legs, engage your quads, your hamstrings, press into the floor. Even distribution of weight through your feet. Lift up. And on an exhale, bend forward with a lengthened spine. You kind of want to keep a natural curve in your spine. And when it starts to change, that's probably your stopping point of actually tilting your pelvis. I'm feeling mine start to change about here. All right, and then drape. And inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, drape. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, drape. And breathe. Inhale, extend your spine. Push into your left foot, push it forward, lift yourself up, and parallel your feet in the front of the mat. Release the clasp of your hands, your arms, and step your feet together. Our next pose is Prasrita Padottanasana, and is wide-legged standing forward bend. So you're gonna step or jump your feet out wide. You might even want to go a little wider, this one. Put your hands on your hips. Press firmly into the ground with your feet, okay? Especially your inner edges of your feet. At this wide of a stance, you might find the weight going to the outer edges of your feet. Try and put some of that weight back into the inner edges of your feet. Press firmly into the ground. Engage your hamstrings. Pull up on your kneecaps. Engage your quadriceps. Pull up on your pubic floor. Knit your rib cages together. Sternum up, stand tall. And hands on your hips. Bring your elbows behind you. And again, you're going to fold forward. Tip forward. Tip your pelvis forward. Tip your pelvis forward. And keep that curve in your lower spine. You might need to lift your tailbone up towards the sky a little bit. Think of cow position in cat-cow. Right? Gaze forward. Keep your spine elongated. and see if you can't fold anymore. When you get to a stopping point, you can put your hands down to the ground in front of you. You may even need to stay up on your fingertips. If you want to keep going, hands down to the floor, and then fold forward. And with an attempt to put your head towards the floor. You can put a block here, put your forehead on a block. If you want to keep going, place your palms in between your feet, fold forward, and put your head down to the floor. Press firmly into your feet. Press the inner edges of your feet down. Lift your tailbone up to the sky, and breathe. Now straighten your arms. Put your hands out in front of you. Press down into the floor with your feet, strong legs, hands on your hips, and lift up. Heel, toe, your feet together, and bend your knees, step your feet together. Our next standing pose is Uttanasana, intense forward fold. Stand in Tadasana, put your hands on your hips. Again, tilt your pelvis forward. Tailbone kind of moving up towards the sky. Tilt forward until there's no more room for you to tilt forward. Put your hands on the floor in front of you. You might be up on your fingertips. If you can go a little more. Fold forward, hands beside your feet, and press into the floor. Lift your tailbone and stretch your back. And feel the skin stretch along your spine. Press into the floor, tailbone up, and breathe. Now, you can also do this pose with your feet hip distance apart, and bend your knees a little bit to get your hands to the floor. And then from here, you might be able to straighten your legs. Put your hands on your hips, extend your spine forward, and lift up straight spine. Feet together, stand in Tadasana. So we're going to go into our next pose, which is Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog pose. So come to your mat in quadruped. So on your hands and on your knees. So put your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees slightly behind your hips. And you might want to move your hands maybe even a little forward of your shoulders for this. So tuck your toes, lift your knees, push into the floor with your hands pushed down and forward. So you're lifting your hips to push your hips back while you're lifting your hips back. Great. Corkscrew your hands in opposite directions from each other to externally rotate your upper arms. See if you can't straighten your legs and put your heels to the floor. Push down into the floor. Push down through your heels. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Move your sternum towards your thighs. And then straighten your legs. Push into the floor. Externally rotate. Let your head dangle. Let your head dangle here. Shake it yes, shake it no. Let it hang. Press firmly into the ground, sternum towards your thighs. Push into the floor. Press down into the ground with your heels and breathe. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and come back into quadruped. And fold your shins behind you and sit back. In Sukhasana, our next position is seated position called Virasana, or hero's pose. So extend your legs out in front of you if you need to shake them out a little bit. So cross your knees again. Come up to a kneeling position. And put your knees a few inches apart and put your feet outer hips width distance apart. Press firmly down into your calves, kind of mush them down and curl them out so you have space to sit down in between your heels. If you cannot sit all the way down to the floor here, you can use a block and sit down on a block. You might be a little more comfortable on your knees. Okay. So from here, push your sit bones down into the ground. Rebound energy back up. Pull your hip points in towards each other. Engage your pelvic floor. Navel in. Rib cages knitting together. Lift up through your sternum. Lift through the back of your cervical spine. Up through the crown of your head. And gaze forward. Put the back of your hands on the top of your thighs, your palms up. And we're going to do 3 rounds of Ujjayi breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And come out of the pose. Put your hands on either side of your calves. Lift up, back into a kneeling position. Cross your shins, sit back, and put your legs out in front of you. You might want to shake them out a little bit. Our next pose is Navasana, or boat pose. And sit in Dandasana. Might want to scooch, move the flesh away from your sit bones, sit tall to your spine. And you're kind of going to, for boat pose, Navasana, you're going to roll back, you're going to lift your legs up, engage your pelvic floor, bring your pubic bone towards your sternum, engage your abs, look forward, lift your arms, and hold. 1, 2, 3, a little shaking is good. 4, 5, deep breath in, and lower your legs to the ground. Lower your hands beside your hips. Shake out your legs a little bit and sit tall. Next pose is half boat pose, Ardha Navasana. This pose, clasp your hands, your fingers, and put them to the back of your head and flay your elbows out to the side. And here you're going to round your back and you're going to roll back onto your sacrum and lift your legs. Engage your pelvic floor, pubic bone towards your sternum, and gaze at your feet. And hold. 1, 2, 3. Remember to breathe. 4. And 5. And release. And arms down. Good. Our next pose is Supta Padangusthasana, reclining head to big toe pose. So start in Dandasana and lower down. And lay on your back. So you're almost in a supine Tadasana here. All right. So Supta Tadasana. Legs together, shoulder blades down your back, knees forward. For this pose, you may want to use a strap. So have that nearby if it is helpful for you to use a strap for this pose. Here, move some things out of the way. Bend your right knee. And lift your foot up. Straight Tadasana, engaged leg on your left. Grab your right big toe with your right peace fingers. Press your toe into your fingers into your toe. Down. And bring your leg, lift up and bring your leg towards your face towards your leg. Bend your right elbow a little more. Sometimes if you can, lift your right leg or your left leg up and you might be able to bend in a little more. Lower your left leg, left hand on the thigh. Lower your back down to the floor. From here, turn your right foot out slightly and then guide your right leg out to the right side, out to your right side. From here, notice if your left hip is kind of playing out a little bit. Put your left hand on your outside of your left hip. Turn that under and lower your right leg to the floor and breathe. Lift your right leg back up. Externally rotate your right leg. Bend your right knee. Cradle your right ankle in the nook of your left elbow and lift up off the ground. And try and bring your nose to your shin. From here, take your right hand around the back of your head and grasp your hands together and clasp them. And again, lift up off the floor. Pull your chin towards your shin. If this is doable for you, you can also keep that clasp, your peace fingers around your big toe. Wrap your elbow behind your head. Press your head into your elbow into your head. Release your left hand down to your left thigh. And breathe. And unwind. Straighten your right leg. Lift leg to knee to nose. And release. Supta Tadasana. Left side, bend your left knee, straighten your left leg, right leg firmly on the floor, flex your right foot, right hand on your right thigh, catch your left big toe with your left hand peace fingers, and shoulders on the ground. Okay, now press fingers into toe, toe into fingers, and press down. Lift, bend your elbow, lift your shoulders up off the ground, pull your knee towards your face, knee to nose, and breathe. Lower your back to the floor, turn your left foot out a little bit, kind of externally rotate your leg, and guide your left leg out to the left. Keeping both shoulders on the ground, right hand to right hip, right hand top of right thigh, and breathe. Lift your left leg up. Externally rotate your left leg again. Bend your left knee. Lift your shoulders up off the floor. Pull your left leg in. Place your left ankle in the crook of your right elbow and lift up. And try and get your chin to your shin. Wrap your left arm around behind you and clasp your hands together. Or, if you're able to, grab onto your big toes, press head into elbow, elbow into head. Put your right hand back on your right thigh and breathe. Unwind, straighten your leg, lift your shoulders up, knee to nose, shoulders back down to the ground, lower your left foot, and supine Tadasana. All right, you can sit yourselves up. Our next pose is Tadasana, staff pose. Seated pose, sit on the ground with your legs out in front of you. Pull the flesh away from your sit bones. Find even distribution on your sit bones as far as weight goes. You can tilt a little forward, tilt a little backward. Find where that weight is. And notice. Are you leaning more to one side or the other, more weight on one side or the other? Even that out. Right. Press the inner edges of your feet together. Pull your inner thighs together. Press firmly down into the ground. Your hands on the ground next to you. And press into the floor as if you could kind of hover, right? And lift yourself up off the floor. But don't do that. So as if you could. Right? And that is to elongate through your spine. Want a nice natural curve in your spine. Lift up through your pubic bones, sit bones, belly, navel in. Knit your rib cages together. Lift your sternum up. Gaze forward. Keep everything nice and engaged and breathe. and release. Take your arms out a little bit. Our next pose is Baddha Konasana. And this is called bound, translates into bound angle pose. So externally rotate your legs out with the guidance of your hands behind your knees. Pull your knees in towards you and put the soles of your feet together. Clasp your hands around the outer edges of your feet and press into your feet and lift your sternum and see how far wide you can extend your knees. A fun thing to do with this is just to roll over to the left. And when your right knee pops up, see if you can press it down. And then roll over to your right and press your left knee down. And then come back to center. And see if that helped a little stretch in your inner thighs. Press into your feet, press up through your spine. And now you're going to tilt your pelvis forward. You're going to tilt, 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 and then fold over. And attempt to get your forehead to your feet. And fold and breathe. And push into the floor with your feet. Lift up, straight spine. Release the clasp of your feet. Put your hands on the outer edges of your knees and pull them in, push them in towards each other. And extend your legs out in front of you to Dandasana. Our next seated pose is Janu Shirsasana. So from here, again, you're going to take and assist bending of your knee with your left hand behind your knee. Externally rotate your left leg out. Grab the back of your left knee and pull it towards you and then beyond your hip. Now put your left heel to your inner left thigh or your groin and your left big toe on the inside of your right thigh and sit up. Flex your right foot. Bend your toes towards you, sit up, reach your arms up. Turn your navel towards your right leg. Lift up and fold forward. Bend forward. Tilt your pelvis forward. Clasp the outer edges of your foot. Press into your foot and stretch your spine. And fold. Again, push in, stretch up, and fold. Turn your navel a little more and fold. You may be able to go beyond your foot. Clasp your hands behind your foot, on the bottom of your foot, your ankles, stretch your spine, fold, and breathe. Release the clasp, sit up, and second side. Stretch your left leg out in front of you into Dandasana. And I'm going to turn so you can see the other side. Dandasana. Use your right hand behind your right knee. Pull your right, or externally rotate your left leg. Right hand behind your right knee. Pull your right knee towards you and behind you. And now it reorients you. Put your right heel Inner right thigh, your right big toe into your left upper left inner thigh. And sit tall. Flex your left foot. Bend your toes towards you. Lift up, Urdhva Hastasana arms, and turn your navel towards your left leg. Your navel, your torso, your gaze towards your left leg, your left toes. Lift up out of your torso. Lengthen through your side body and fold over your leg. And keep folding. Here's where a strap could help you as well. If you cannot fold all the way down, go as far as you can and use a strap to help steady you in that position. You can grab your toes and stay here. Lengthen your spine, or you can keep going. Fold forward over your leg. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Clasp your hands or your wrists beyond your feet. Stretch your spine up. Breathe. Exhale. Fold. Turn your navel towards the left. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, fold. And breathe. Release the clasp of your hands and arms up over your head. Sit tall, arms down. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Shake them out just a little bit. Our next seated pose is Paschimottanasana, and it is intense stretch of the West, and that is your back body. It's a forward fold, seated forward fold. So sit tall in Dandasana. Again, sometimes it's pull the flesh away from your sit bones. You can also doing this by kind of walking your sit bones forward, right? Move that flesh away a little bit. And strong legs, flex your feet. Try and bend your toes towards your face. Sit tall, sternum up. Hands up, Urdhva Hastasana, and fold forward. And fold forward. Clasp your hands around the outer edges of your feet. Push into your feet, lift your sternum up. Exhale, fold. Push into your feet, inhale, lift your sternum up. Exhale, fold. Bend your elbows out to the side. And fold. And breathe. You can extend the clasp to your wrists. Extend your spine. And fold. Release the clasp, arms forward, sit up, tall, hands down by your side, Dandasana. So we're going to do a couple of poses. We're going to do a pose laying on your belly, Shalambhasana or locust pose. So cross your legs in front of you, Sukhasana, lift yourself up, and extend your legs back behind you and lay down on your tummy. And pull your arms out in front of you. Inhale, lift your right arm. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, lift your left arm. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, put it down. Put your hands alongside of you, palms facing up. Inhale, slight back bend. Pull your shoulders down your back, slight back bend, and lower. And lift your legs, inhale. Engage your glutes, lift your legs. Exhale, put them down. Now we're gonna put that all together. Inhale, lift your palms up towards the sky. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, engage your glutes, push your pubic bone into the floor, lift your legs. Inhale. Exhale and lift some more. Palms towards the ceiling, soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Gaze forward and down to keep your spine elongated. Breathe. Exhale and release. And head to one side. And one more time. Look forward. Lift your legs. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Lift your chest. Lift your palms up towards the sky. Lift the soles of your feet up towards the sky. Press your pubic bone into the floor. Engage your glutes. Pull from your torso. Lengthen through your torso. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Press towards the sky with your palms and your feet. Breathe. And release. Oh, now roll over on your back. Our next pose is Supta Bandha Sarvangasana. And that's bridge pose. So lay on your back. Start with your legs straight. Again, a supine Tadasana. Keep everything engaged. Bend your knees. And pull your heels towards your sit bones until you can feel the tips of your fingers grazing the back of your heels. Now, your legs should be hip width distance apart. Okay. So press into the floor with your feet. Press into the floor with your hands a little bit. But press all four corners of your feet, inner outer edges, and lift your pelvis up. Pull your heels towards your shoulders. Engage your hamstrings and lift. Clasp your hands underneath your back. Press into the floor with your hands. Press into the floor with your feet and lift. Roll your shoulder blades under and lift. Press, lift. Pull your heels in, lift. Press the inner edges of your feet into the floor, lift, and breathe. Release the clasp of your hands, lower your hips to the floor, and extend your legs. All right, one more time. Bend your knees. Bring your heels towards your sit bones until you can feel them grazing the tips of your fingertips. Press into the floor with your feet and lift your pelvis up towards the sky. Lift your tailbone up towards the sky. Pull your heels towards your shoulders. Engage your hamstrings and lift. Roll your shoulder blades, your shoulders, tops of your shoulders, under and lift. Clasp your hands underneath you, but exchange the clasp. Try and remember which thumb was on top before. Reverse that clasp, right? All right, and press into the floor, press in the inner edges of your feet down into the ground. Lift your tailbone towards the sky. Down under you, and breathe. Release the clasp of your hands, lower your hips, and extend your legs out in front of you. And put your hands underneath your back. kind of help you a little bit of an assist here. Press into the floor with your hands. Lift your back up off the floor. And cross your legs. And take a deep breath here. Our next pose is a seated twist called Bharavajasana, and it is named after sage Bharavaja. So from here, extend your legs out in front of you and swing your legs over to the right side and place your top of your left foot in the arch of your right ankle. And sit tall. Your right hip is going to come off the floor. Sit tall. Now with your hands up, twist to your left. And then put your right hand on the outside of your left knee, your left hand behind you. Press into your left knee and elongate your spine up. Press in to the floor with your left hand and twist. And take a deep breath in. Pull and press and twist. Now, take your right hand and palm down towards the floor. Put your fingers underneath your left thigh and take your right hand or your left hand and wrap it around behind you. And you can place it on your right thigh, or you can just wrap it around your waist. Sit up, lengthen, twist. Keeping this twist, turn and look over your right shoulder and then gaze down towards your feet and breathe. And release your hands. Twist back out in front of you. Put your feet out in front of you. Second side. Swing your legs over to the left. And you're going to put your top of your left foot, or top of your right foot into the arch of your left foot. And your left hip is going to lift a little bit here. All right. Sit tall and turn to your right. And turn using your lower back, your lower abdominals, and turn. From here, put your left hand against your outer right knee, your right hand behind you. Pull into your right knee, press into the floor with your right hand and sit tall. Pull, push, and twist. Inhale, lift up, pull, push, twist. Keeping this twist engagement, put the palm of your left hand on the floor, tucking your fingers underneath your right thigh, and wrap your right hand behind you and lay it on the top of your left thigh or just around your waist. Lift up, twist, and now turn your head, keeping that twist, turn your head and look over your left shoulder and gaze down towards your feet. And breathe. Release your hands and put your feet out in front of you. Sit in Dandasana. Nice and tall. Our next pose is Marichyasana 3, named after the sage Marichi. It's a seated twisted pose as well. So we're going to start this by bending your right knee and bring your heel in as close to your sit bones as possible. And sit up tall. Okay. Put your right hand behind you. Your left hand up. Press firmly into the ground with your left leg. Okay, arm up. And turn your navel, your whole torso, to the right. Bend your right elbow and hook it on the outer edge of your right knee. Press knee into elbow, elbow into knee, and twist. Push into the ground with your right hand and twist. Use your back muscles and twist. And breathe. Inhale. Push, pull, twist. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Push, pull, twist, exhale. And release. Second side. Pull your left heel in towards your left sit bones. Sit up straight. Engage your right leg, nice and strong. Lift your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and turn your torso, your rib cages, and your navel towards your left leg. Put your left arm behind you. Your right arm will bend at the elbow, and put your elbow on the outside of your left knee. Push your knee into your elbow into your knee. And sit up. Push into the ground. Push against your knee into your elbow, and twist. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, turn. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, and turn. And breathe. Release. Arms and your legs out in front of you. And our next pose is Paschimottanasana, and it's intense stretch of the west side, which is a deep stretch in your back. It's a forward fold. So again, pull the flesh away from your sit bones. Sit in Dandasana. Arms up over your head. Knit your rib cages together. Pull up through your pelvic floor. Lift your sternum up. Head up. Lengthen through your cervical spine. And tilt your pelvis forward. Tilt, tilt, tilt. You can grab your big toes with your peace fingers. You can grab the outer edges of your foot. Press into your feet. Lift your sternum and fold. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your sternum, and fold. If you can, grasp beyond your feet, your hands or your wrists, push into your feet, extend your spine, and fold. And breathe. You can try and bend your elbows out to the side. Stretch your back. And breathe. And release the clasp of your hands. Lengthen your spine. And sit up in Dandasana. Our next pose is Ujjayi Pranayama. So come to a very comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. Okay? You can sit in Sukhasana, half lotus. You can sit on a block if you'd like as well. So sit with your sit bones evenly, weight evenly distributed on your sit bones. Pull your pubic bone towards your tailbone and your sit bones in towards each other. Engage your pelvic floor. Take a deep breath in. Keep that engagement in your lower abdomen, and as you exhale, knit your rib cages together. Engage. Lift your sternum up. Elongate the back of your cervical spine and sit tall. And take a deep breath in and out. Now, on your next breath in, narrow your vocal cords. So when you breathe, you're going to hear a sound. Kind of sounds like the ocean. When you exhale, it's like you want to fog up a mirror with your breath in front of you. So inhale. Exhale. Hear the ocean in your head. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale, keep that engagement through your bandhas. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to the count of 3. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale. 2, 3. Pause. One more time. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. And pause. And resume your normal breathing pattern. Relax. Shoulders. Maybe roll your shoulders a little back, a little to the forward. Out. Our next pose is Shavasana, corpse pose. Lay on your back. You may want to use your blanket for this to support your head, or even if you're cold, to cover yourself. So I'm going to put it here to support my head. Yeah. Lay down. Head on your blanket. And just let the earth hold you, embrace you. And release your shoulders down into the ground. Release the back of your head down into the ground. You move your head left to right. And then steady your head. Close your eyes. Spread your feet apart a little bit. Feet maybe mat distance apart. And put your arms a little away from your body. Relax your feet. Maybe even let your feet lay out to the side. And relax your knees into the ground. Relax your pelvis into the ground. Notice if there's any tension here. I want to try to lift your pelvis and put a posterior tilt. The flesh of your butt down. And relax. Maybe take a little overarching out of your lower back and relax into the ground. Relax your rib cage, your navel, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, and breathe. Relax your tongue into the bottom of your mouth, away from the top of the roof of your mouth. Let your eyeballs just sink into your skull and breathe. Slow, nourishing deep breaths. And relax into the earth. On your next inhalation, take a deep breath in. Roll to one side, bend your knees. Use the palm of your hand to press yourself up. And find a seated, comfortable position once again. You can put your hands on your thighs. And a few normal breaths here. And bring your hands to Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. And we will end our practice with one Om. Together, inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Breathe in. Exhale. Lower your chin to your chest. And surrender your mind to your heart. Lower your hands to your thighs. And look up. Your eyes. I greatly thank you for joining me for practice today. Acknowledge you for showing up and for all the work you did today. May all sentient beings be happy, and may you all go in peace. Namaste.